אשרי האיש אשר לא הלך בעצת רשעים, ובדרך חטאים לא עמד, ובמושב לצים לא ישב. כי אם בתורת אדוני חפצו, ובתורתו יהגה יומם ולילה. והיה כעץ שתול על פלגי מים, אשר פריו ייתן בעיתו, ועלהו לא ייבול, וכל אשר יעשה יצליח. לא כן הרשעים, כי אם כמוץ אשר תדפנו רוח, על כן לא יקומו רשעים במשפט, וחטאים בעדת צדיקים, כי יודע אדוני דרך צדיקים ודרך רשעים טובת. מזמור לדוד. אדוני מי יגור באוהליך, מי ישכון בהר קודשך. הולך תמים ופועל צדק, ודובר אמת בלבבו. לא רגל על לשונו, לא עשה לרעהו רעה, וחרפה לא נשא על קובו. נבזה בעיניו נמאס, ואת יראי אדוני יכבד. נשבע להרע ולא ימיר. כספו לא נתן בנשך, ושוחד על נקי לא לקח. עושה אלה לא ימות לעולם. מזמור לדוד. אדוני רואי לא אחסר, בינו דשא ירביצני. על מי מנוחות ינעלני. נפשי ישובב ינחני במגלי צדק למען שמו. גם כי אלך בגיא צל מוות, לא ירא רע, כי אתה עמדי. שבטך ומשענתך המה ינחמוני. תערוך לפני שולחן נגד צורריי. דשנת בשמן ראשי כוסי רוויה. אך טוב החסד ירדפוני כל ימי חיי, ושבתי בבית אדוני לאורך ימים. I will ask from Nathan Aber, the grandson, to come up and to lead us with the prayers in English.
A song of David, Lord, who may sojourn in your tent, who may dwell on your holy mountain. One who walks in purity, does what is righteous, and speaks the truth from the heart, who has no slander on the tongue, nor has done harm to a fellow, nor cast disgrace toward a neighbor, in whose eyes a contemptible person is repulsive, but who honors those who are in awe of the Lord, who swears truthfully even to personal hurt, and never retracts, who does not lend money on interest, nor takes a bribe against the innocent. One who does these things shall never falter. A song of David. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not lack. God causes me to lie down in lush pastures. God leads me beside tranquil waters. God restores my soul and guides me in righteous paths for God's name's sake. Though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. Your scepter and staff, they comfort me. You prepare a table before me in full view of my adversaries. You have anointed my head with oil, my cup overflows. May only goodness and kindness pursue me all the days of my life, and I shall dwell in the house of the Lord for length of days.
Thank you. The Jewish people are now in the midst of accounting. It's called the accounting of the Omer. Between Passover and Shavuos, we count 49 days. When the Jews left Egypt, Moses told them, they asked Moses, when are we going to receive the Torah at Mount Sinai? Moses says in 50 days that they started to count the days. Since then, the Jewish people every year, after we celebrate the Passover from the Exodus from Egypt, they count 50 days until the coming holiday, Shavuos. It's going to be on June 11 and 12, just for your information. And the law is that if you made a mistake in the number, and you messed it up, you cannot continue to count with a blessing. You count, but you cannot say the blessing. If you forgot one day, again you cannot say the blessing. Then you have to be right in target, never make a mistake. Last night was 24, today is the 24th of the Omer. When I was sitting yesterday with the family at Yana's and Nathan's house, actually, and Ariana and Eva's house, actually, Yana and Nathan are there as long as they take care of them. Then with the rest of the family, Allah and Ilya and Oleg and Maya, and I met Emily finally, and Arthur, and they talked about their mother, about her counting skills. I knew one thing for sure. There is a reason why she died during the time of counting, because she would never make a mistake. She would always be right on top of the situation. But we'll start from the beginning. Klara Livshits was born 84 years ago in Belarus. Her father, to a father with the name Pesach, and the mother Hannah. Hannah, I think, was one of 14 children. But Hannah herself, had only one child, only Klara. And when she was 10 years old, World War II broke out, and her father was taken to the war. He was mobilized, and the first week of the war, he was killed. She was a little girl, 10 years old, with her mother. Like many other families, run away during the war. They run away to Kazakhstan to avoid the war, and that's actually they were safe from the Nazis. If they would stay in Baboysk, they would all in Belarus, they would all be killed. And during the war, they were in the city Kazil Arda, I think was the name of the city, and they were there during throughout the war. After the war, they came back to their hometown. Not for long, when she graduated high school, she went to college, to university in Moscow, one of the prestigious universities in Moscow, to learn accounting, CPA, something like this. And she got, as her daughter told, and her son told me yesterday, she inherited her head from her father, who had a very good head, and especially good for numbers. And she graduated with honors. And after graduating in Moscow, she went back to Belarus. And a short time later, she moved to a bigger city, Baboysk. And there she became in charge of the main bank in the city. It was a big city. Now, Baboysk was a Hasidic city. In the Chabad terminology, in Chabad history, Baboysk is, if you say you're from Baboysk, you get a special treatment. Then the whole family is from Baboysk. Even Yana was born in Baboysk. That's why she's such a big Hasid, because it's all from the Chabad city. In Baboysk, there she met her husband, and they got married, Katzenelson, and there they had 2 children. Oleg was born first, and then Alla. Even yesterday, Alla told me that her mother loved Oleg more. There was an argument. He tried to say it's not true, but she says no. Even when she had dementia, she forgot all the names. She always remembered Oleg, no matter what. And anybody who knows the culture in Eastern Europe, Jewish mothers remember their sons more. That's a fact. I cannot deny it. For some reason, the sons can never do wrong. They are like God gifts to humanity. Even though the daughters take care of them, but they remember the sons. Maybe in America it's a little different. Then both of them had a very good childhood. They remember have very good memories from their childhood. While their mother was working in the bank, she was the chief nachalnik. She was in charge of all the banks there in the city. And the kids used to go every time to visit her. They used to come back from school, used to drop off their briefcase at home and run to the bank. Oleg remembers that he used to put him up on the 3rd floor in the bank to make sure he's doing his homework. She kind of maybe locked him up there, but he did his homework. Alla told me she remembers as a child, from the age, I think, of 7, whenever she used to run from school home, from home she used to go to the bank, and by the door was the policeman. The guard used to let people in, used to ask her, what's your name? Every day the same story. What's your name? She says, my name is Klara Livshits. Who are you coming to visit her? Give her a serious interrogation and then allow her in. She used to run to her mother's office and she used to get a big hug. Every day was the same, the same routine. This hug she remembers more than everything. Another thing she told me she remembers from the youth, she used to go with her mother every weekend to the theater to see the play or the movie. Both of them used to go. That was the time for the mother and the daughter together. And her mother, even she was close, in Russia was a country that if you live honest, you're very poor. And her mother was close to the big plate. She could benefit a lot. But she was a very honest person. And that's why she was on her job for 4 years. First of all, she was very capable. She remembered all the numbers. She was very good on everything. But more than that, she was very straight and honest. There was no cutting corners, no nothing. She got only what she deserved, and she never touched anything that didn't really belong. She didn't feel it belongs to her. And there where they grew up, and they even got married. She told me that her mother was not a tall woman. She was 5 feet tall. Her grandmother was even shorter. And her grandmother used to tell her always, Allah, marry a tall guy, that you'll have tall children. That was the main thing. He has to be a tall guy. Any boy she brought in, her mother and grandmother said, no, that's not the right guy. Until she brought Ilya. He came in, they measured them. He was fitting for the right size. They had at the wall this thing. They measured everybody who deserves it. Now they said, yeah, he can marry you. Ilya told me last night that he thought he's tall until he made the Haber family. And then he realized that tall is all a matter of perspective, and it's all relative. That's why Nathan made it to the family. Yana got the same message, marry a tall guy. And until Nathan thought he was married because he was cute and because he was capable and because of all the good, nice things. He didn't realize that just measure them. That's it. Her grandmother, Hannah, was very involved in Judaism, and Allah told me she remembers her going to synagogue a lot. Whatever synagogue it was in Berkowitz-Kumin-Bookatz at that time was no official synagogue, it was underground synagogues. She used to go there, and she remembers how, and Oleg told me, remember too, she used to put a prayer book in their beds before they went to sleep. The Shema, they used to say with them, or put this little prayer books for protection in their beds before they went to sleep. But in this environment they grew up. And then even after Allah got married, she had her daughter Yana in Baboysk. And Arthur was born in Russia too, right? In Baboysk also? Also in Baboysk, the whole family. And then in the 1990s, something around there, they moved to United States. First, Allah and Ilya moved, and then the rest of the family came to America. And when you ask the grandchildren what they remember how they used to go every weekend. There is a big difference between Yana and Emily, that everybody got his time with grandma. Nobody had to fight. You got more attention, I got more other attention. Everybody had his ears. There is 8 years different. Yana used to go every weekend to spend with her grandma. Be there. It's not babysitting. It's being there a whole weekend. And the same thing Emily used to do it when she grew up. And what they remember is that the grandma used to make for them. She didn't need for herself. She didn't need anything. She lived a very simple life. But for them, she bought everything, all the good kinds of food that she liked. And even that Allah used to tell her, make for them only the healthy food. She used to tell, yeah, I gave them healthy food. But really what she gave them, it's only what they want. As a good Jewish grandmother is always taking care of her grandchildren. And she even merited to have great grandchildren, Ariana and Eva. This is a big schus, it's a big merit to deserve to see great grandchildren, all continuing in the Jewish way. And they told me last night that whenever she met somebody, she made sure he's warm. She was worried maybe he's cold. She used to tell him, you're not cold, you're not cold. Her job was to warm up people, to bring warmth to people. That was it. That she felt that was her mission in life. Everybody was around her, felt warm, spiritually, physically. She had a warm smile, warm good words to everyone who is around her. And this warmth will warm you up for many years to come. תהי נשמתה צרורה בצרור החיים. And now we'll call up the grandchildren to come and share their memories.
Babushka was tiny by nature, but her soul was larger than life. She was a truly selfless human being that devoted her life to her children and grandchildren. Growing up, Emily and I spent countless weekends at her house where she taught us about life, cooked for us, taught us math. Nobody had a way with numbers like she did. Loved us, but most of all, showed us by example the happiness and fulfillment of a very simple life. She didn't need much, never bought herself a thing. We were her world, and seeing us happy was all she needed. When I met Nate, she too instantly fell in love. I wish I could tell you it was his personality, but like Rabbi Zushi said, the height and looks didn't hurt. She'd say, "Ooh, Yanichka, he's so nice and he's so tall." She had a way to make you laugh, and her soul was contagious. She didn't know much English, but somehow she always found the words to say to him. She wanted to make sure we were always fed well, clothed, warm, and happy. In her later years, when she became more ill and lived with my parents, she got to spend more time with my daughters, Ariana and Ava. She absolutely adored them, and their visits lit up her world. When they'd misbehave, she'd look at me and say, "See, I told you that you'd get one just like you." She was brilliant, witty, and so very special. The world lost a beautiful soul on Sunday, but I know that her love, laughter, and spirit will live on forever. I will miss you for eternity, and I love you every day.
I should start by saying that I love Babushka so extremely much. From the time I was born, and for eternity, I will love her just the same. She was the most selfless person you will ever know, but her compassion was endless. She could make you smile and feel extremely important by just being around her. She gave everything to her family, but yet never ever needed anything for herself. I spent many weekends at my Babushka's house growing up with these times were the best times of my life. I learned to socialize with the other kids visiting their grandparents, but mostly I spent a lot of time with her. So much of who I am today is because of her, and visiting my babushka was not just to visit. It was truly home and a place where I felt that I belonged. She brushed my hair, got me the most fashionable clothes, and of course always fed me my favorites. I remember her sneaking me chocolate, even though I wasn't allowed, simply just to make me happy. She always told my mom it's good for her brain, Allah. And when I left for college and chose to study pharmacy, she even told her, "I told you so." She was a simple woman in the best ways, but she taught me how to also have compassion and share it with my loved ones, the way she always did. And those multiplication tables she made me practice in elementary school helped too. She is forever with me, teaching me lessons to this day and with all of us.
Grandma was like most Russian grandmothers. They keep your belly full, make sure you always have socks on, stay warm, and tell you the history of your family. But Klara was also very different. She was very well educated and was very career driven. She understood she needed help so that our parents could work hard and build a life for themselves. Klara was exceptionally kind and did her best to help rather than inconvenience others with any problems she may have. Klara had many great qualities. She was extremely intelligent, she was very patient and calm, and would do anything for her family. Many of these traits she passed on to her children, grandchildren, and great-grandchildren. We're here to celebrate her life, and we all hope that she rests in peace.
Please rise for the memorial service. Nobody else, right? Everybody spoke. Everybody spoke, that's it. אל מלא רחמים, שוכן במרומים, אמצי מנוחה נכונה על כנפי השכינה, במעלות קדושים וטהורים, כזוהר הרקיע מזהירים, את נשמת קלרה בת פסח שהלכה לעולמה, בעבור שאנחנו מתפללים בעד הזכרת נשמתה, בגן עדן תהא מנוחתה. לכן בעל הרחמים יסתיריה בסתר כנפיו לעולמים, ויצרור בצרור החיים את נשמתה, אדוני ונחלתה, ותנוח בשלום על משכבה, ונאמר אמן.
God, full of compassion, who dwells on high, grant proper repose on the sheltering wings of your presence, in the lofty levels of the holy and pure, who shine as the brightness of the firmament, unto the soul of Klara, daughter of Pesach, who has gone to her world and for whose memory we pray. May her repose be in paradise. May the Master of Compassion bring her under the cover of God's wings and bind her soul in the bond of life. May the Lord be her heritage, and may she repose on her resting place in peace. And let us respond, Amen.
You may be seated. The service will continue to Mount Sinai Cemetery, and after that the family will receive friends at the Europa restaurant on Paintree Road in Pepper Pike.